Yes, Doc, it does, and it creates a second question. And it's more to do with, obviously, as a geospatial practitioner, having gone through these processes, we are in a better position to authenticate the information and actually give very accurate information to the market. But because the technology has now been put out there and everyone is using it, you find that big private entities like Sugar Estates and some mines, they now have an in-house system that maybe acquires this data, they use it, and there's no regulatory room or authority or system that actually checks the information that they're using to say, is it good? For them, it's if they have a consulting engineer who comes and says, yeah, I think this is good enough, it's working for us, it works. Now, what I would ask you is, where you are, does regulatory systems of trying to monitor who does what when with the advancement of this information work? Or it now comes back to the client to say, is he happy with what he's getting? Whether it's fully compliant with a certain regulatory system can say. Did you get my question?
Thank you so much, Doc. Quite sure there's another question about banking. We can listen to it. Okay, I prompted one. I'll answer.
You can stop. It stays much longer. The second part of the finance question, he talked about the geospatial practitioner. And in terms of regulation, can we in Zimbabwe define this, the person who is supposed to carry out this data acquisition in terms of qualification and also to ensure that maybe in terms of accuracy and specifications we are also covered?
defined by law, just like in Zimbabwe. But we have to remember that professionals, for example, like the GIS, there's nothing stopping somebody from did you use more for accreditation purposes than actually regulating the practice of GIS. I'm not so sure that GIS and other disciplines lend themselves as well to regulation. I mean, legal regulations schematic. So, yes, look into it, but I'm not sure at the end of the day whether it will be effective and how you actually even monitor it. What is it that you would be regulating? Would you be telling a client that they should have GIS at a certain accuracy, or data at a certain accuracy, and that it should be processed in a certain way? Yeah, difficult.
Oh, thank you, Doc. I think we have one more question.
Hi, Doc. Stanley. Doc, I was interested in the cost of your new gadgets, which you mentioned, like the 360 camera. What is the price range of these new gadgets which you just showed us? And with a view of affordability, how in they affordable in Zimbabwe in 10 years' time, or right now they are affordable in Zimbabwe?
Yes, okay. With that pre-COVID, I understand it's in the price range of, I think, $50 US. So that is not something that you would see right now. But that's maybe because we don't have too much competition. And it's 30 days. But I can't imagine in the next 15, 20 years the price is coming down. For example, the Microsoft HoloLens is in the range of $1,000 to $2,000 US. But the catch here is the software. So if one can get open software to work with these systems and reduce the cost, coming to the 360 camera, I think we're now priced at around $500 per camera, $500. So, yes, I wouldn't say they're exorbitant. But again, it's getting the software to run these systems. Yeah, so at the moment, I would say maybe the prices are not comparable to the total station, the typical service equipment, but they are coming up. The backpack system, I don't have to check. I'm not so sure right now.
No.
The backpack scanners.
Thank you so much, Doc. One more question, though. This one is coming from me. How are these systems geo-referenced? Because you mentioned GPS systems, but these are moving objects, and are the systems always online? Okay.
The 360 camera, that will be a situation where it's a localized system. So the very one American area where you have the localized system, that would be a good way to create it. The only thing with the mobile scanning systems that do reference IOs and GPSs. With the metering systems, obviously you can use GPS systems, but the more range of systems for localizing indoors will not as do have GPS, but they are getting better. So you have IU, you have Wi-Fi, everything, RFIDs, systems and so forth. So yes, most of them we can do one way or another.
Thank you so much, Doc. I think the gentlemen have exhausted their questions. Thank you so much for being with us today. Green clip in for Doc. You can take part in the, we're going to have the next presentation. You can actually watch if you'd like to. Nah, it's okay. You can also watch the live view on YouTube right now. We're actually broadcasting this live. Yeah, thank you so much. All right. Well, that was amazing and technological. Like the woman in the time talking to the guy in South Africa, like over TV. That's nice. So while the next presenter is getting ready, any questions for me? Some I could answer. Some are making lunch, which is okay because that's kind of my field food. I love that. I like this technology thing, we're moving with the times. And the way people have been doing surveying is actually nice. You go into the bush and then you hope there's nothing on the tree beacon. And the funny part is, we blacks are wired to run. Like you see a snake and then the first thought is run. But when people go black, they want to see the detail, what kind of snake it was, what color it was, and so that they can tell a good story back home. But when it comes to us, you see someone running, everybody starts running. And then you're like, what happened? What did you see? Like, the snake, oh, the snake. You don't ask many questions. Whether it's true or it's false, that's how we are. But thanks to technology, we can actually be from the comfort of our homes, Let's just click and then the drone is fly. Take some pictures and then come back and say, okay, client, this is your work. I just did this. And oh, I never remember the laptop with the HDMI. And technology. No, the guy is supposed to be presenting next, so he just wants to make sure he knows all the slides. It's a presentation, guys. If you're a tough crowd, take it from me. I know you're a tough crowd. There's nothing hard than presenting to your superiors. You've all seen me grow up from the time I was enrolled, and then now I'm here telling you to give me the mic. It's not easy, guys. It's not. He's getting ready. He's fresh from college. Another fresh guy. This guy didn't say it. I like that one. Last time he said it, and then I was like, okay. He had fresh ideas though, but I'm still bitter about his presentation because talking about kids and killing kids. Desire won't finish. If you give Desire the microphone, you will asking questions. Oh, really? Okay, Desire. Here's your chance. Shoot. Shoot it good this time.
My question was on information that I use for your podcast. Since you're saying some of it is from data. From my experience, some even the big minds that you mentioned when there is some localized system. So I wanted to know what it means to say in terms of us and the surveyors helping you with your project so that you come up with the accurate information.
but I would want to answer that already.
If I'm saying we are not from the ministry, but I think if I take you back to the document that I referred to earlier on, the one from paper, we did actually propose that they do away with the handheld devices and for people who want to use high-end RTK GPS positioning. And the process also entails the verification of the existing claims. So the Peace of Mind guys will actually go to the field and pick field positions of the beacons and then update their current database. But there are some that were taken using they are using those coordinates preliminarily until the verification process is carried out.
No, thank you so much, Doc. You just want to add on? Okay, we're gonna make it brief. Brief, like really brief. Like I'm watching you brief.
Thanks to the good doctor. He just put it in the right way. But I want to say the Minister of Mines, remember, I think from the presentation yesterday about the cause, the ministry actually did take part in that workshop, and the system will be based on the WGSA4. And for the big mines, the process is almost complete. And the ministry is actually in the process of acquiring the RTK GPS system so that the surveyors can go and do the verification, as the doc has just said, of the claim that has been paid already. So it will be verified the actual positions of the boundary demarcations, and also a bit of relocation where errors have been made, and trying to address all the problems of overlaps, and trying to clear all the disputes that are currently prevailing. I don't know if you answered.
Yes, answered. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Answered. Yes. Yes. Thank you so much, Design. So the gentleman here already ready and is bending. He wants to share. Let's give him the floor.
Today is 1 July. We lost our vice president today. And should be one. I know. In fact, he's one of the people who made me 10 years. That's why I had to recognize that. My name is Christopher Mazuma. I was invited on this information system to give the presentation on SEPAC. I didn't communicate on the change of name, but I've been taking this opportunity to introduce ourselves as Geosmart Private Limited in Zimbabwe. Geosmart being headed by me, and will be responsible for marketing SEPAC in Zimbabwe. So wherever I didn't make that change, communicate that change, because I wanted to communicate it here, and I'll give the contact details later. Yeah, this so SEPAC started operating commercially in 1982, and it was developed from a project by Kityan, a registered land surveyor in South Africa. And in the 80s, it was introduced in South Africa in Department of Surveyor Generals, and then in Zimbabwe and all other countries with red boundaries now are users of SEPAC. So it's 35 years old. In Southern Africa, here the SG offices which uses SEPAC, and ours also use SEPAC, and it's doing wonders for them. And I know even many surveyors here they use SEPAC. So on our list of clients, we have very few. It has many modules: light, list, space, convergence, mining, topo, engineering, cadastral. So it depends with what you are, the field you are. If you are in cadastral, in mining, in engineering, you buy the modules which are relevant to your work. And this is used for computation, survey computations, conversion, planning, production, quality assurance, and examination. And on planning, there is a new feature which is not on the one which is which was circulated more and which is being used by many surveyors in Zimbabwe, and which it does have the Google Earth, and it helps for planning purposes. And also, there's this software can okay, you can okay, it depends with you can use ASCII files. It interlinks with many data formats. So even GIS format, you can convert your data into other formats, and also you can download information from many equipment. I'm not going to explain much about this because this is a daily work, but it can do this survey computation, join polar and polar. This is in depth of presentations on those calculations, of which I'm not going to talk much about it. You know a lot about it. Intersection calculations, areas, you can work areas from polars, areas from coordinates. Without data checking, you can calculate areas from coordinates. You can run line calculations. Then there's this new feature which is not on the SEPAC 98. There's this SEPAC Google interface. This helps this helps for you to plan your survey before you go to the field, and you also, with the other help of we also uploaded the TSNs and tricks, and you can check on the area you are working on. You can find the tricks around and the TSNs around, and the coordinates will be there. So you want to do this this way, this way when you are in office, not to go to the Surveyor General for looking for this, for looking for the TSNs and trick stations. But obviously, you will be charged when you look So there's nothing, we are not stealing from Surveyor General, because you will be charged when you log your survey. You can overlay the GPS, on Google Earth as a check of what you have done. This is what I was referring to when it can locate nearest trick beacons and other control around the area of your work. And here it shows tricks around a certain area, and it's in Marcel. You can also do the topo survey in Office. It can generate contours, but these contours are not recommended for engineering work, but for planning purposes. Conversions, it can do all these conversions. It does have all these transformation features, and can convert to WGS34. Then list space adjustment. You can it can adjust your control. Then topographical. You can do this, and this slide shows where we are going. There's the issue of cloud, which is the other direction we are going. We're not going to talk much about cloud, but because it's not yet running, but it's we are still developing. And to those who came to the previous presentation, I think they saw the live demonstration on how we to work like. And in short, cloud is when we don't have we have a remote server where our data is stored and managed from not and it will not be sitting on your laptop. And we have been hearing many people talking about technology and the way it's going. We also need to do that. The circular topographical is a module again. We have also the cadastral. I think it's used by many surveyors for diagrams and GPs. And the other issue is on auto generation. This is another development. We are trying to automate everything, because that's I will also always continue, because the guys who have been presenting were talking about technology. We are also trying to move with time and try to make the GPs and diagrams and reports being automated. We want to try to help the surveyors give less time on processing the data. This shows the coordinate list and how the general plan and the layout creation, which is done automatically. And when this one, it just shows once the data is in the computer in the format recommended by the software, if you just click on your GP, if you just click one stand when you are preparing your diagram, it will come like this, and it will show, and you will only be deleting those washes. And also the consistency check will also be automatically generated. And the SEPA engineering. It does all the horizontal vertical alignment for section, longitudinal section, and also those in road shows how the case, you do the case, vertical alignment, and cross sections, and the floating, and also the chaining. All these are in the software. Okay, I'm not going to talk more about this. And there is the creation of the cross section and the design data. All this information, our software can do it better and faster. And the interpolation, then we go to mining. I'm happy we have a mine surveyor, and I hope you invite us to their conference as well. It shows impact calculation of sector with pillar safety, like calibrations and reductions, effect monitoring and analysis, mining. This is what I was talking about, where we are going from now. The cloud. Why SEPAC surveying software? It's one-stop shop, everything in one package, developed by a surveyor for surveyors. Includes region and country-specific templates and coordinate system. Includes country-specific tricks and TSN. Highly responsive customers needs. Developed in Africa for Africa. Local representation. As a surveying tool with CAD and GIS capability, tried and tested, 5 years in operation, modular and scalable. And lastly, we are one of the, it's now our software in Zimbabwe. So we should be responsible with it. These are the prizes. Many people have been asking me about the prizes, but if you go to www.sepac.co.za and you go to prizes, you see the prizes. And on those prizes, I think what you only need to confirm from us is the rate which we use. You don't want to use the rate on today's rate, because tomorrow maybe we have our specific rate which we know it will be stable for us. It doesn't put us on a disadvantage for a month or so. And we also charge 10% maintenance. These are our contact details. Those with pens and papers, they can write the contact details. And I know many people need this software. There will be a training on this day.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah. I have 3 minutes.
I was hoping you would elaborate on the new features of the software you have developed. I'm quite sure these guys have been using SEPAC for quite some time. Though I'm not sure, guys, if you all use customer or client list. So I think we might have the prices again, and then they see the prices if they are not on your customers list. And I think you might have said something about the new features.
Yeah.
Yeah, may you elaborate on the new features for SEPAC?
Okay.
Yeah, just giving you those minutes you want on elaborating on the new features.
Okay. Generally, the software in the whole software have been going through positive changes on operation. Then the other development, the other new feature is Google Earth. The other one is inbuilt of
you can go in depth with the new features. You can just go in depth and just explain to these guys, because I thought you rushed through that, you might not get the questions on the new feature. It's just a feeling I have.
Yeah, okay, that's what I'm doing. I think, that's what I'm doing. There's the Google Earth interface, and on Google Earth interface, and also the issue of trick stations and GSM. You can search. They are also in, in the software, and you can search for them on our software. There's also the issue of auto generation of GPs and diagrams. And generally, the operations of the software. There are now, in fact, more changes on how they operate the one they've been using illegally. With this one, there are some few changes. But why I wanted to rush, I gave another small presentation with five slides. And it's very important.
It's just interesting to know.
Yes, sir. Because you gave me 15 minutes, I think. I'm now on page 14. Okay. I will leave other slides and come to this one. SEPAC in Zimbabwe proved to be the answer to many surveillance problems since 1980. More than 90% of surveillance uses it in Zimbabwe legally or otherwise. SEPAC is good for both field and office work, but the problem associated with the sale and distribution of SEPAC is software piracy. And piracy is the unauthorized use and distribution of software. Who is in these colleges, universities, students, lecturers, private link surveyors, individuals, local authorities, ministries, and government partners. This is hampering our development. The software development, we need a two-way system. Okay, the software firstly is developed by a software developer, and other one is a feedback which we will need from you, the users, between the users and us. When we give you a software, we expect you to give a feedback and we improve it so that it works better for you. So we need to mutually benefit from this. Disadvantages of software piracy. The first one is it's a criminal issue. In other countries, you can rot in jail, and we wouldn't like to go that route because we are one person. We are brothers, so we don't need to go that way. And it kills us as developers and sellers of the software. I know many, even my brothers and my new brothers in the field. I think they thought it's a free software. It's not free. Someone is working on it and they get to feed family from it. We need to have legal copies, genuine copies. But it affects the national development. No sales to us, no taxes, and nothing but treasure. Yet we are always complaining that the government is not repairing roads, is not doing this, is not doing this. We need to, anything for a national development issue, we need to first look at ourselves. Are we doing the right thing? And lastly, of which many people don't care about, is no updates for the users. Our solutions is, so we will continue discussing with users to have genuine software, and we're also appealing to SISA to encourage members to be professional and use genuine software. I think many people have been hearing people talk, we are professionals. It's part of being professional. We also lobby the government through its arms like Surveyor General to enforce use of genuine software. And we are able to sort the software with the pirated software. If anyone is seen to have distributed it, that person, I think, will be legally wrong, and we need to be professional and be ethical.
Yeah, I can see guys are putting their people down. And usually when you beat up a child, you usually say something nice at the end.
Yeah, I will.
Cannot get a good boy. Just to take my sweet.
Definitely, I think
The thing about telling the truth now is like these guys know, or they've heard about distribution, they've heard about distribution or use of software. So are you giving these guys some discount for if they buy it?
Definitely. Yeah, that's the good thing I was going to talk about there.
Okay, in the universities now.
Normally, the tertiary institutions, we have an arrangement which is already there, though very few took it, and some, I don't know, they are cheating taking it, but it's very, very reasonable.
Because I was just thinking, if they teach those guys to set up software in universities, it's just a problem. But if they teach them to use the correct software and then they see those benefits and those extra features and then they like it and then they love it, and then the next thing they're using it. I think AGS does that, right?
Not this.
But not. I'm saying the promoting the universities.
Yes.
They give them some educational softwares with certain limitations, but they do the job. So they've got MSU in here, use it, and Harare Poly, right?
Oh yeah, Harare Poly, they are very good. They are applying.
Okay, then it's okay. So I'm just giving you just 1 minute so that we can entertain the questions. Just 1 minute, and I'll be standing here.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to skip that and give my special thanks to the organizations who are using legal copies of our software, and would like to warn them not to distribute it or even help those who are using the illegal copy. And most importantly, let's support our fellow Zimbabwe, Christian Private Limited. Well, he's now in Zimbabwe. His company is now owned by Zimbabwe. So we should be happy and support each other. And when someone does good, we need to support each other. We need to help each other, and we move forward. We hold our country together. And yes, let's move forward.
Ubuntu. I think that's the word for it. Togetherness, having one goal, one vision. So, will there be any questions from Dr. Paradise?
Thank you, Mr. Mathman, for the presentation. And I think you have hit hard on piracy. I think it's important to embrace the point here on this platform. Remember, we say the geospatial industry is supposed to be a multi-billion-dollar industry. And it can only be a multi-billion-dollar industry if we play along the correct business rules. Talking of that aspect, you said your system can actually display TSMs and trip data. I want you to shed light on whether the TSM and trip data that you are using in your system was also legally obtained from the Department of Surveyor General. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Paredzai. for your question, for supporting us. Then your question. We legally acquired it and we got it from Surveyor General because we can't tell people to use information from us without consulting the regulatory office.
Thank you for that. The young man has a question.
Oh, okay. Mine was on the dealing with piracy. I've seen it being done on many softwares that instead of selling the copies of the SEPAC, you sell it as a service that someone logs in, he uses, logs out, and that's it. If you try that route, because usually trying to enforce or counter piracy when you have the setups in people's laptops is kind of difficult.
Okay. Thank you, my brother. Fortunately or unfortunately, we are working on that. It's something which happened in the 90s, 1998. And we can't, there's no way we can control something which has been distributed from 1998. So what we are planning to do is to have a software which tracks that, which can check if that SAPAC was installed on computers, and if people have been infected to show the date it was installed and when it was uninstalled. And that way, I think it will help us. But the first thing is to talk to you the way we are doing. I think that's the first thing. When you see people going to the police, to court, it shows you can't understand each other. But right now, I think we haven't got it.
Okay, there's a gentleman in the question. Okay, let's start here.
Thank you very much, Mr. Maduma. Thank you, Mr. President. I'm sure you can guess what my question is going to be. Thank you very much. No, I'm trying to control my anger. Okay, no, that's fine. Yeah, we hear that you now have control of your data in your SEPAC. I'm not so sure how you manage to get it, but maybe you could put in sort of an advisor to say to you that data on tricks and TSMs or whatever you have, if you're using it, you can verify with the surveillance for the latest correct information so that your users are not then led to believe that that's the final version of code or whatever you have in your system. Thank you.
Thank you, SJ. I think everyone is. Thanks for the highlight.
I think it's just a highlight. We picked up that one and then got the gentleman.
Okay, while we are going there, I forgot to acknowledge what my young brother advised us to do about how we can manage security for software.
Thank you, Mr. Madina. I just want to clarify transformation of coordinates from UTM 12 to WTS 84. Does that apply to Zimbabwe? The SD provide you with parameters to do that?
Yeah, our checks showed that it comes correct. But if you find something, because we can't really rule out any errors on this. If you find something, we need to communicate.
Okay, I think you was asking about working in both or transforming from both sides. on the GS84 to GOW system, if I got him right.
The general is going to issue official transformation parameters when we officially migrate to WGS 84, so to say. So in the meantime, that is what I was just trying to say. User, note that this is not the official government position. So you use that data with that in mind. Okay.
Thank you so much. Is being political, to be smoothing things on the political side. Was Mr. Deremwe, the question?
Thank you. Mine is on the security of the software. I don't know whether it's now not locked or it's one of the things that you can do to just do some security. Because I know when you use like GeoOffice, when you install it on one computer, you do that online, they check details of the computer. If it fails to work or the computer picks up, you just have to go on another computer, go online, contact like a GeoSystem, then they uninstall it so that they are also able to install it on another computer.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Deremwe. Right now, I think it's more like the situation which is there right now. If you buy a SEPAC, I think even when you buy your company bought it from us, we requested some user ID from your computer. So the license is attracted to that one computer. And when you need to change or when the computer crashes, you also install another one and you communicate with us so that we transfer the license from the previous computer to the other one.
Okay, that's technological.
Thank you, Mr. Navina. Are you able to shed light on the statistics of your official user?
I wanted to avoid that. Actually, it's a request now. Yeah, it's a request from the VP. I have to. I will move from this side.
These guys want to help. I can see from everyone's point of view or everyone's faces. They want to help SEPAC that is not pirated. These guys are coming up with ideas, protection, and then this guy now wants to hunt these guys down. if they're not using SEPAC, what are they using? Because you want these guys to use the licensed software, so you want you to give them the data of the licensed users so that you can help you check these guys.
Yeah. Okay, I will give you the official list, but for now I can say Mutare, Surveyor General, Datam.
Okay, there are a lot of people into you running out of names. Guys are not looking good here.
Mr. Kaseke, Mr. Deremwe, Polly, Mr. Machavere. Then Mr. Twambindo.
But Sito Barat.
Sito Barat. And
Sito Barat.
And you. I'm sorry if I left someone. I think just yeah. Sito Barat. Sito Barat.
I was just asking. Sito Barat just being smart, like.
Okay, I will check on Sito.
Yeah, check on Sito
Barat. Yeah, okay, Mr. Adams. Mr. Adams.
The reason why I was asking is would need your support. I can see you are benefiting from the constituents within SIZ, and if please, we can also have your support as far as the institute is concerned. I understand you'll be running a training workshop. Maybe we can reach an arrangement where for every participant, probably you can donate something to the and we promise also to try and persuade our members to use the official. Thank you.
Thank you, VP. On this one, we also, I think that's the way to go. And we need that relationship. And also, to add to onto that, I think I will also be an up-to-date member from some few months to come, so that I become part of you. I do everything together. If there's need for some little help, we help each other to where our strength can be. And for this specific training, it was targeted for people who, because there was this, we knew there's this conference, and it was the reason why we reduced the price. We wanted people from SIZ to benefit, but our original price is 500.
Okay, you can take the answer, okay? Just to seek clarity, the sitting gentleman was furious about you using coordinates from Surveyor General. I'm not sure where the Surveyor General stands with digital data. I think the few yesterday people were asking about having soft copy data. So you led me to believe that having coordinates in our computer system, actually after purchasing the hard copies, if we punch them into our computer systems, do they become illegal? Can we share those documents? Because it became a question, there was a question yesterday about how we protect those images, how to create that data. Oh, okay.
Thank you very much. No, I'm not also offering to. I expect my young brothers. Well, I think surveyors, you've always been acquiring data from our office. Really, we cannot say, yeah, of course. Yeah, but the point that I want to make is that we cannot say, if you come and do your session, say for, say, 10 trees, you cannot share those trees with anyone that you so wish to share with because you've already paid. So over the years, we kind of have an accumulation of that information. That is why when you launch your survey, we always charge the connection to tree. So really, we are not much concerned with that. But just to say, when you distribute it, just make sure that you tell whoever you're distributing to that you are not the final authority. Just in case coordinates have changed or there are errors in whatever you're distributing, we are the final authority.
Thanks for the clarity. And this guy is trying to protect you from these guys. I think this guy is a good guy. Yeah. Well, if there are no more questions, I think the gentleman will give claim for this guy. Thank you so much for the presentation. Thank you. And now we come to someone who does online talking or something. I don't know what he does. I think you better speak for himself. When you call the guy, the gentleman from the University of Zimbabwe, he's coming everything online. I think I should put a room right now. Can I do that? I'm talking to the next person. Thank you so much. Okay, Clemens for me to remind you. Thanks so much.
Okay, this is me in 2011. I was doing my A level, and right there I was working very hard to get 15 points. And after getting those 15 points, I had no money to go to university. So I approached that doctor. She's well known in our area, and she gave me money for school fees. But then she said, I don't have money for food and for your accommodation. So you can go and look for that money. So I went to my uncle, and my uncle sympathized with me, and he sold his only two goats to cover for my school fees, to cover for my food and my accommodation. So I now had money for school fees, I now had money for food, I now had money for accommodation. So I went to use it, and I was coming from Bikita, and I was very new to Harare. I didn't know the streets and everything, and the money from those two goats couldn't cover for money for to stay on campus. So I had to stay off campus, and that's me carrying my bags. And on your right there, I was now tired around 5:30. I was moving around Mount Pleasant looking for accommodation, and I couldn't find a place. So around 5:30, I then met another guy, and he looked as if he was able to help me. And I said I was coming from Bikita, and then what happened is I lost everything. I lost the money which I had got from that doctor, the school fees and everything. And what happened afterwards is a story for another day. I'm Wellington Mujoma, and I'm here to present my project entitled Online Off-Campus Accommodation for University of Zimbabwe Students. My supervisors were Mr. Togarepi and Mr. Mulambo. So enjoy the presentation. I'll give three things. Firstly, I'll give a project overview where I'll be giving just the main objective of my project. Then I'll give the current status of things, which is basically what I've done. Then the last part is what I'm looking forward to see. So my main objective is to design a web-based online application which can be used by university students to search for off-campus accommodation. And for this application, I just designed for use it, but it can be modified to accommodate all the universities in Zimbabwe, and I'm actually in the process of doing that. So the main motivation or the driving force behind this project is the fact that University of Zimbabwe has 18,040 students, and it has only 11 hostels with a carrying capacity of 6,100, which means 11,940 students, they are staying off campus. And it is approximately 2/3 of the student population. And some of the students, they cannot afford to pay that amount. Let's say you are doing surveying and geoinformatics, you are required to pay $713 and $450 for accommodation and food, and that's 1,163 the total. And you are required to pay that amount upfront before schools open. So some students cannot afford that. So this is what is being said by various newspapers, and it's tarnishing the image of our universities. Like that one on the top there, which says UZ students partying like reds, then accommodation woes worsen at UZ, then our government is urged to urgently address student accommodation crisis. So the current system which is being used currently, it's if you are staying in, let's say you are staying in Blawayo, you have to travel all the way from Blawayo, you go to Harare, you move around looking for accommodation, you go back to Blawayo, then when schools open, you then come back. So it's time consuming and it's expensive. If you try to avoid that way of looking for accommodation, you can go through agents who will help you to look for accommodation. And if you use agents, like I said in my introduction, I ended up losing everything because some of the agents, they are fake. So you can also move around with your bags like those guys there, then knocking on people's doors, looking for accommodation, and it's not convenient in this 21st century. So my aim is to stop wasting time and to stop wasting money. So I did a research plan where I studied the existing systems which are currently there. Then I also did a user needs analysis whereby I was asking the students, the landlords around UZ, and the UZ accommodation offices, collecting all that data. Then I designed my system. Then so that's just a summary of my research plan. Then I tested if the system was now working, and I would ask students questions. I would ask landlords and admins questions. Then I would input information, the information which I would have obtained from them into the system again until I had this system which I'm about to present. So with the students, I gave online questionnaires, 100 online questionnaires, and the students, I realized from those questionnaires, after analyzing them, I realized that 23% of the students, they are currently staying on campus, but actually 73% they want to stay on campus, but because either they don't have money or the accommodation is not there, they are staying off campus. So there's a difference of that 50%, which can be converted to more than 9,000 or so students who want to stay on campus, but they cannot. So I went further on to ask the students a question, like if you are looking for off-campus accommodation, what things do you consider? And on analyzing that question, I realized that 97% of the students, they want places close to UZ. 97, they want places with less or affordable rent house. Then 91%, they want safe areas. They want to be 2 people or 1 person in a room. They also check available facilities on the accommodation, and they want 70% say that they want landlords who are friendly. So I also did interviews and discussions with landlords around UZ and the UZ accommodation office. Then this is the system, the information which I used in designing my system. So I realized that the system must have 3 interfaces: one for students, one for landlords, and the other one for UZ admin. This one is for UZ, but it can be used, like I said, on any other university. So, welcome to our new system. If you are a student, you can search there on where it is written all types. There you can search accommodation. It's a drop down with where you can search accommodation only, or accommodation and food, or accommodation, food and transport. Then you can specify the place which you want. Then you can also search the distance, like from your university. Like I want accommodation which is within 1 kilometer from my university, and latest accommodation will be down there. And on clicking search, you are given a map which is interactive. From the map, you can get more details about the accommodation which is shown there, or you can get directions from wherever you are coming from to the accommodation. So let's say you are coming from your university or from your home. If you just say get directions, you are given the route there. Then you also have that advanced search field where you can specify what you exactly want. Like you can also say I want accommodation where they are first year students only or master students only. So after filtering, you get that, and on clicking details, then you get more information about that particular accommodation, the amount, the rent, the monthly rental, the pictures, the features of the accommodation, then the full description of the accommodation. And let's say you are now interested in that particular accommodation, you get the information about the landlord, like the landlord name, the phone number, the email, Skype, Facebook. Then you can contact the landlord using that form there. You write your name, your phone number, your email, then you send your message. And just after sending, the landlord will receive an email notifying him or her that there is a inquiry. Then on clicking get directions, your accommodation is shown on the map, that red pointer there. Then you specify if you are driving or you are walking, and if you are driving, you specify the area where you are coming from, then you are given a route following main road. Then if you are walking, it follows footpath. So that's the interface for students, but I said the application is 3 interfaces. So if you are a landlord, then you can see your accommodation list. You can add new accommodation. You can see inquiries from students. You can update your profile, and you can also log in and log out. So there is a form where a landlord can add accommodation. So you are asked questions, then you just fill in that form. Then you put a full description about your accommodation, and you add photos. Then you can also add internal notes for your which are private, which you can only see, which are not visible to the students. Then inquiries coming from students, they are classified into three. There are new inquiries which you are just receiving, and there are inquiries being processed when you are communicating with the student, and there are processed inquiries when you finally give the student the accommodation. Then if you click details, let's say on this inquiry, on your right, there is written details. If you click details, then you get more information about that particular inquiry, like the name, the phone number, the email, the message from the student, all that information. And you can also update your profile, like just what you can do on WhatsApp and Facebook. You can change your name, your phone number, your profile photo, and so forth. Then if you want to change your password, you can do it there. If you put a weak password, because I wanted to make sure that the students, they are safe. So if you put a weak password there, the system will reject. It requires you to put a password with about 6 characters, which are mixed numbers and alphabetical letters. And if you forget that password, you can just click on you can just reset the password. You write your email address there, then a reset link is sent to your email, and you can reset your password. So that's the side of the landlord, but we also have the side of the admin. So if you are an admin, you can do all that which can be done by a landlord, and in addition to that, you also see everything which is being posted by the landlords. Then you see the landlord accommodation list. Then you can update information about each and every landlord. So let's say one of the landlords is no longer active, you can deactivate him or her from the system. So this is the new system which I designed and which I am proposing to be used at universities. Thank you very much. So this, sorry, just 1 minute. 1 minute. They've already closed their ears. So this kind of system can be used in any other field with slight modifications. Like I said there, I'm now modifying it to fit all universities. I was also thinking of maybe using it in the field of surveying, where maybe, for example, a surveyor can post, you can click there where it's written add a new job, then you can see all the jobs which you posted, then you can see maybe inquiries from different, from the public or from the surveyor general. So when there was admin, use it admin, we are now saying that's now the surveyor general office. When there was a student, it's now the public. When there was a landlord, it's now the land surveyors. So we are now saying all those powers can then be changed, and this system can be used in the field of surveying. Thank you.
You're done. Okay, 3 more minutes. Any questions? I think this guy created Facebook. Okay, questions from Dr. Farazan.
Thank you for the brilliant presentation. It was well prepared and well laid out. What I didn't see from your interface is when the landlord gives particulars of the available properties. I didn't see how they enter the location of the available property.
All right. Let's say let me go to the slide. You just type your address, and if your address does not appear on Google Maps, because here I'm using Google Maps, You then go to Google Maps and say add location. Then you type your home address on Google Maps. Then you go back to the system and your address which you type there will automatically appear on the system.
Okay, there's another question here.
Thank you. Yeah, it looks like a good project, but I've got one question. You said you want to reduce cost and time in the sense that people are coming from a rural area, then for example are coming from Kutu, come and look for the accommodation, to get the accommodation and go back. But imagine I can find I can allocate so whereby I can provide my details there, then I can request you to maybe deposit some money in a cash account or in an account which I can actually even quickly block. What kind of security do you offer to graduate to be from your area?
All right, thank you very much for that question. On designing this system, I had two options. I could make landlords be able to create their own accounts before posting the accommodation, just like what you do on Facebook. You create your own account, then you can start posting whatever you want. But for security reasons, on this system, if you are a landlord, you approach the accommodation office. For this one, you approach user accommodation office, and they verify if you are a legitimate or a true landlord. And after that, they can create an account for you, and then you can start using the account. So first time you send your details or you go in person to the user accommodation office, they make sure that you are a true landlord. Then afterwards, you can start posting for your accommodation and updating.
Okay, so who's paying the landlord or the settlement?
It's not yet running, so.
But theoretically, who is paying?
Yeah, it's a good idea, and I think it's something that can be helpful to people in that situation. I would like to contribute that you continue to develop it and maybe set up a system yourself rather than having you say admin, and you be the one who checks with the true landlords and whatnot. Not just you, not necessarily yourself. You can set up a team to do that, and then besides that, think of also moving to other platforms like Android and Apple, and what's that on Windows for the system.
So in other words, this guy is saying commercialize this and make money. Things that don't teach us in school. These guys don't teach us that. School doesn't teach us to get money, they teach us to get working systems. Maybe commercialize that. I'm telling you that.
All right, I'm actually in the process of designing another system from that one, which can be used by real estate agents, whereby a real estate agent can just post accommodation on their own accommodation on the system. And if you are offering accommodation, you can just post your accommodation on the system, then the general public can access. So it's no longer only for students, it's now for anyone. And I'm also in the process of creating something like that.
Thank you. Then my other question is answered. Just answered the other question. But I wanted also to add on last Ms. Chombe's comment that you need to consider commercializing. I don't just list that idea to the real estate agent, it's yours. Develop it. I also wanted to ask whether you make, unless I missed it, you consider the option of adding the pictures of the kind of houses in your application so one can actually see the house as he looks out for the accommodation.
Yes, you will be required to add about 5 pictures. So in 5 pictures, it means you post for students, you'll be posting their bedroom, the bathroom, the sitting room, and everything. So 5, I think, is enough.
I think I've also found another use for your system. Matchmaking. I post my picture, and then what I like, kind of person I like, and then I Google all the people who are there. pictures, location, phone numbers, even. I think it's good.
Thank you. I just wanted to say, the students came first in the Faculty of Engineering when they were doing their competition, or in the project presentation. I happened to go, and I was part of the judges. We were 9 judges. Most of the other judges were engineers, but I'm proud, about the profession. And for the first time, they were saying that it was amazing. The students from surveying and geomatics came first. So if you can just put our hands
Okay, that's amazing. That's amazing. Okay, this guy wants to ask, but the last time was asked, the person was 2 pages. Can you make the question like?
I have a comment. Make sure you comment a little bit shorter. You're being everyone. Okay. What I wanted to say to you, my young brother, is think outside the box. Make sure you look for the right people and patent your product, because you may never know what happens out there. Someone can snatch it at the level down from you, and they will benefit from it.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that. Not next time I'm gonna use less word. Okay, okay, I think he's been raising his hands for a long time now. Wow. Wow, okay. He's opening the floor, guys. He's opening the floor. Really, guys, we can't just say this guy came first in survey and we're in the service from Zimbabwe, then we do nothing. Come on, guys, come on. There's 20 gloves on the floor right there. No, come on, let's just do it like that. Let's just showcase it there. Yeah, there's 20 bucks there. No, this is his. It's his work. The supervisor was giving too much time. Okay, the third batch, right? Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Come on, guys, he's one of us, and he just made us proud. He made fun of the engineers because he's a late surveyor, and he made it happen. Okay. Now this is what I do. Talk chat on mind. Yeah, I'm wise. You walk over. Okay, this is amazing, guys. This is amazing. Anyway, thank you so much for the guys who. Okay, he wants to say something. 5 bucks if you want to say something. 5 bucks. Okay, how about 5 bucks right now? I hope that will give you the mic. 100, right, it's okay. 100 bucks.
Thank you. Actually, just to say one more word with regards to the student, he's actually going to represent the University of Zimbabwe in the NESA competition. That is a competition for all the universities in Zimbabwe. And that competition is sometime in July. Is it August?
It's 4 August.
4 August. So all those who are able to attend, I think it will be in Harare. We can come and support them. Thank you, guys. I think there was a gentleman there. I hope you guys want to get more money. Really, because we had the money segment, and we can't go back to the questions now.
Thank you. I just want to say that was a very good presentation. And yeah, surely I'm not surprised that you did very well. We are proud. I think it's surveyor. What I liked the most was the interactive nature, which you did indicate that maybe the Office of Surveyor General could consider that and take it on board. And maybe not only the Surveyor General, but all of public offices, where we lodge documents and are processed and we expect to get a product at the end. I think what we've experienced, or what we tend to experience in most public offices, you lodge your document, you don't hear anything. You have to follow up after some weeks or months, or maybe to be told that we can't locate the document. So I think public offices that are here represented. Perhaps you may need to really talk to this young lady. Thank you.
Okay, what this guy is saying, besides just commercializing your software or program, he's actually giving you an hint on the next client. And right now there are a couple of representatives in here, and then don't let them out of your sight. Yeah, don't let them out of your sight.
All right, thank you very much. I will do that right away.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm very happy that as a surveyor, you did not think in the box. You've managed to play. You're not going to knock those for climate anyway. It's very good that as a surveyor, you've taken a new dimension in support with the theme of our conference here. You actually did that.
Okay, that's amazing. Anybody say something negative? Okay, you guys are saying everything positive. Really? Anybody something negative about this guy? Somebody? Is anybody jealous? This guy?
I think the guy is angry. Can you let him go, Vlad?
What is something negative? Come on, really? Okay, I'm gonna give you something negative. Man, you're stealing my space. Alright, let's thank this guy for quite a presentation. And I think you're on the book now.
All right, then thank you very much for the money.
We are sharing, right? Okay, money for drinks today. Oh, okay, so before the vote of thanks, I would like to let you know that we have caps, right? And t-shirts. And there's a guy over there, his name is Timothy, I think I mentioned him yesterday. He's going to be taking pictures of anybody who requires them. And there are some nice spots and places here. You might need to get some pictures taken so that it's not your word of mouth. And tomorrow he's making a DVD of the presentations today, and then tomorrow morning he's going to be giving out to the people here. So everything was being captured as well as it was being broadcast live. So there are DVDs to be given to the people. So may I call upon Faith Mashonga for my name is Soviet Doctor. Yes, I do. Okay, I was rushing for lunch. Now I'm looking. Okay, lunch was 1 p.m., right? Okay, let me give the president his presidential powers to give tokens of appreciation.
Sometimes the MC is supposed to be Muchai and Mochai, but in this case, it's a mental gesture. I think this is, as I said, thanking our presenters. Mike is going to give us all of them, but this has to be done now. We had presenters today. The first one was Mr. Matare. We'd like to show our appreciation. Sorry. At least you can protect your solar panel. All right. Our next presenter was Mr. Mazima. I hope you get more business, and please always put this on when you go and visit the surveyors so that they can let you know. Thank you. For the young man, technopreneur. You are not an entrepreneur. You are a technopreneur. I know you will be put on that launch pad. It's a golden launch pad, remember? And this is our golden year. And remember I said we should leave this place with our pound of gold yesterday. And I think we've just picked 5 pounds of gold. Please come over. Let this protect your brain. Don't corrupt them with wise waters as we do. And I know programmers, and I've got a son who's also a geek, and I relate to you. I think there was a young presenter yesterday, also young, African, Ms. Noble. Mo, you also please come over.
I thought one was coming. Come on, guys, baby.
I'm going to make you a straw hat.
Because I've actually heard that whatever part of your body you use the most grows. Because I think I've just had a growth in my mouth.
So by the time you drink too much.
Anyway, thank you so much for the vote of thanks. Not 4, but 4 as it is coming 4.
Thank you so much. I'm here to thank each and every one of you, starting with our council, especially the president, Dr. Bagami, and your team for being excellent torchbearers. I'd also like to thank the organizing committee, especially Nonano, for all your dedication and hard work in making this conference a success. And I would like to thank the Director of Ceremony for directing us so well. And all the delegates, the presenters from yesterday, from the Surveyor General, Mr. Mponi, Brighton Mandela, my primary school classmate, and Mr. Masharave and Nyasha. Mr. Nyasha was not present today, but we really thank him. The two students, Noble Moyo and my Sekuru Mudoma. It's not very surprising where it comes from, genetics. From Excel Geomatics and Option Geomatics, we really thank you. And Ms. Matari, Dr. George Dole, and Mr. Martina. Thank you for your presentation and for taking the time to make the presentation and for coming, and for the presentations which were in line with our team surveying today for a better tomorrow, embracing modern technology tools. I would also like to thank the past presidents for their guidance, and lastly, but not lastly, but the cameraman, Timothy, and now lastly but not least, each and every one of you for coming. Can you please tell the person who's sitting next to you that thank you for coming? I could send out approval from us. Thank you very much. May we have safe journeys back home. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the lot of things. I think if people have stomachs as big as mine, it has been speaking for quite some time now. So I would like to close in prayer and probably a prayer for the food as well, so that a mention of food to God will be good for the stomach. Please don't make me go to him again. Oh, okay. Sounds in the family.
Father, in the name of Jesus, we thank you for the conference. We thank you for the success of this conference. Father, we thank you for all the preparations and the wisdom that has been gained through all the presentations. Father, I thank you even as the surveyors go to practice, that you have equipped them, oh my God, for a better work in their field. As we go for lunch, I pray for the food. I pray that you may bless it and that it may be nutritious to our body in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Oh, Mr. Nyirenda was already speaking in tongues, which is okay. Okay, thank you so much, guys. The tickets for lunch, I think I'm going to be issued them by Miss Nolanda. I don't know which she will be. No, I'm not sure. Probably the system we used yesterday was effective, right? Yeah, I think we just use the system and we go and eat and then